Hello, and welcome to Avio's Journey. My name is Anthony Pica. This show is all about helping you, the new and upcoming voiceover artists, grow their business and sidestep all of the crazy things that I seem to step on. Hello, happy Monday. It's the 30th of December. Holy moly, what a weekend, and we have a crazy day tomorrow, right, with New Year's Eve and then New Year, and then we are 2020. We are there. I hope you've had an incredible 2019. And if you feel that there are some things that you want to forget about in 2019 and, really kick it into high gear in 2020, you are in the right place, watching the right show, and I'm happy to be here with you. So, it is nice to have, House Broker One on Instagram. We've got Rich over on YouTube. We've got people on Twitter, and we're also streaming on Facebook. It's great to have everybody. Today is the topic today I'm going to be covering is about analysis paralysis. And I think that for me, this is probably one of the best times to talk about it. Because what we end up doing is, with New Year's Eve tomorrow and New Year's, we have a bunch of resolutions, right? And we are going full steam into what we want to accomplish for 2020. But what I see happening a lot, actually, even right now, is I see a lot of new people coming into the business, or even people who've been around for a while, and they're really struggling to push themselves to the next level, or quite honestly, push themselves anywhere. And what I see happening is a lot of excitement, a lot of hopes and dreams, but not as much action. And I think it's action because of fear. But fear is one of those words where I think we feel like it's bad to be afraid, or we don't want to admit that we're afraid of failing or making a mistake, or worse, we convince ourselves that before we try out a new website, or we put out a piece of content on social media, or record a new sample, or buy a new piece of equipment for our business, or try to record our financials even though we don't really know how to, or make a balance sheet, or a income statement, or all these different things, right? Reach out, make a phone call, right? We're afraid we're going to fail. We're going to get rejected, or nothing is going to happen, or someone's going to see us and make fun of us, or something, right? Something is going to happen that we are just not wanting to happen. So what we do is we figure, okay, what we need to do is we need to stop and we need to analyze what's happening, or what we need to do. We need to do some research. We need to figure out what is the next steps. We need to, learn more. And I can tell you from absolute experience, that's like me. That's like me in a nutshell. For the longest time, I always wanted to succeed. But whenever I would get to a point where it came time to put up or shut up, I don't know if the word chicken out is okay to use, probably, but I would kind of chicken out, and I would be like, well, there's something, or this is what happens. And let me see if this happens to you. It actually would happen to me where something magically would come up, like another opportunity, or another thought I had, or somebody I paid attention to said something that led me down a different path. And what would happen is every time I would come to the gate of somewhere where I had to push through and go down that one path, towards success, I would get a bunch of, like I said, whether it was ideas or distractions, And then I would have to research and analyze them and think, okay, well, I can't do that yet because I don't have this, or I can't do that because I'm not sure about my equipment, or I don't know, I shouldn't call anybody yet because I don't even have a website. Where am I going to send them if I call them, right? Or, that's a good one, right? We don't have a website yet, or I don't really like my website. I got to fix it. I don't have a professional demo yet. I can't really market myself because heaven forbid somebody goes, and what if I send a bunch of people there, they listen to it, they don't like it, and then they never come back? Or what if I ruin my chances with someone out there and never get an opportunity again? It happened to me a lot. And I think there does come a time where we get to a point, hopefully, you don't have to get there, but you do, where you get so tired of stalling or giving up, and you just want anything to happen to feel like there is movement forward. And the tough thing is that we don't know, right? We don't know what to do. And that is where the fear comes from. That's where being scared comes from, because we don't know how to approach the unknown. We were taught throughout our lives, when something is unknown, right? There is either we are taught, it is brought to us by someone like a school. It is given to us in a book. It is told to us, and if it is not told to us, it's not important. Or more importantly, it doesn't matter, or we shouldn't even learn it, or we shouldn't even go to it. We should stay away from it. But I find that for me, that has been my biggest challenge in my life. And when I started this business, I wanted so much. Maybe you can relate. I was so tired of giving up. You can use the word fail, but let's be honest. We don't ever really fail at something until we give up, right? And I was just so tired of it. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if you can relate, but you get to a point, I think, where you can be so tired of analyzing things and researching it and starting over and trying something new or going down a new path, that you just want to move forward. But there's that wall that's there, like I talked about, like the website or all the different things that you don't think that is up to par. So to get over all of this, it actually takes one word, and we all know it. That's the funny thing, right? It's like anything in life that we've learned, we know what the solution is, but we convince ourselves to forget it. And the solution is, and it will always be, action. Now, the question always pops up, yeah, duh, I know it's action, but what action? That's the problem. I don't know what action. And here is, I think, the secret. Any action you take to move forward. And here's even better. Take the actions you're really afraid of. Do them. I remember making my first phone call to a cold call to someone. I was so, and I think about it, it's so funny. Like, if you stop and think, someone on the other end, and you call them up and you're like, hi, my name is Anthony, and do you guys, I'm a voiceover actor. Like, you think on the other end of the phone, like, dude, I just want to take my lunch. Why are you calling me? You don't even sound like you even know who you are. If you think about it that way, it's funny. But when we go about doing things that we in our minds are worried about or we've never done before, it can be frightening. I laugh about it because it is funny if you look at it like outside of the context of us actually doing it and think about, in the scheme of things, what it really means. right? Calling up somebody and that you don't know and trying to sell services, right? What do you even say? You know what I mean? Because and then what if they they go, F you, do not call me ever again. What is wrong with you? I'm telling everybody, and they're gonna tell everybody, and you're never gonna work ever again. Like weird random fears. But I giggle because I remember back when I first made my first couple of calls. I mean, it was I was just so silly to me to think about how worried and nervous I was just to call somebody and ask if they use voiceover artists. The funny thing is too, is like now, I mean, I don't have any problem anymore telling people what I do, but that's after I've done it over and over again. And that's another secret to getting past analysis paralysis, getting past the fear, is doing something over and over again. Also, I love the phrase, know thyself. I think that is a phrase that we all know, and I think we all understand, but I don't think we all really, truly accept it, right? Know thyself is one part, but it probably should be know thyself and accept it, right? If I were to add on to a centuries old saying, know thyself and accept it. I think that's what know thyself is supposed to mean also, but I just add in accept it because most of us don't accept who we are. So perfect example. I am not a coder. I don't code websites. I don't build them. I don't do all of these things that so many other people are really good at when it comes to, being online and things like that, through, web development and stuff like that. I'm just not good at it. Could I get better? I like to think so because I guess I have an ego about it, but I don't have the time and I don't want to. It's not me. But I know how vital and important that is to my business. So this is where I'm going with this whole thing. Knowing myself and knowing what's important to my business, I have a decision to make, right? The decision is, do I go down a path where I know that it's going to take me a long time? I'm going to probably want to give up. I'm going to screw up a bunch. People, go to college and spend years in their whole lifetime working on developing great websites and knowing how to do these things, right? And, sure, I know some shortcuts. There's WordPress themes and et cetera, et cetera. There's all these things. I could take all of my time and do all of this. Or I could hire someone or use something that already exists that's what I need and move on with my life. But it involves me understanding that I had to accept that it was something I was not good at, or it was something that someone else could do better. That is a big deal in our moving forward for our businesses. There comes a point where I think you have to understand, or at least for me, and I know this is silly, but I know some of you, hopefully, again, you can relate to some of this, or I'm just a wacko. I am a wacko, but hopefully you can relate, right? There does come a point where we have to admit we can't do all of this stuff by ourselves. We can. It's like trying to, put together something that has pieces from different fields, right? That has technology, that has, it's like putting a car together, right? I mean, there are so many different components and they are made by so many different people in so many different ways. And then there's the technology and the computer systems that goes into cars. There's designers, all these people. One person can't do it all themselves. They can't spend a lifetime learning all that knowledge. That's why we need to work together and we need to have people work with us. Could you spend your life trying to do it all yourself? Of course, it's your life. But here's the thing. How far will you really get? I love the thing that Bill Gates said about how to become rich was to make as many people rich as possible, as to make as many other people rich as possible, right? Meaning that, if I want to be successful, if I can make more people successful, in turn, that will make me super successful, right? Those people maybe who work for me or those people that I collaborate with. All right. Think about it, right? If even a customer, the more successful you make them, in return, they're going to pay you more and more and more for your services because you're making them successful. Right? But the thing is that's accepting once again that we cannot do it all. And that sometimes we analyze things so much because we are afraid to actually make the decision, not even knowing that the decision has to be maybe we are not best suited for that particular task. Now, here's the rub. The rub is, how far do we know where to go? Meaning, like, how far do we do that when it comes to like paying other people or working with other freelancers or hiring out? How far do we go before we say enough is enough? I have to do all this myself. I think the answer boils down to, again, knowing thyself and what are you trying to accomplish. So for this new year, for 2020, and for trying to get past analysis paralysis, to me, I know I am always looking at what am I trying to accomplish? What do I want? Because in the end, all the success, and I always like to say this, let's say tomorrow you had everything, all the business you wanted, all right? Well, let's take it one step further. Let's say next year, right, 2020, every single day you made $500 a day. Okay, let's just say you made $500 a day. That means you'd make about $15,000 a month. Okay, so let's say the next year that would be what? $180,000. So let's say you made $180,000. All right, let's say forget, we'll even do this. Let's say for the next 10 years, you made $180,000 each year, so you made $1.8 million. What's it all for? What is it all for? What are you doing it for? What do you want it to do for you? What do you want that success to do? What is all that money going to go towards? Hopefully, there is a burning goal that you have, a burning desire. And a lot of times, at the heart of all of this, because there's always going to be bridges, there's always going to be gates, there's always going to be blocks in the road. We know this. If you're watching this, you've lived plenty of life to know that. What pushes us forward, okay? I don't know why my camera goes in and out like this. I apologize about the whole way. There we go. Maybe it's because I move around so much. Sometimes it gets blurry. But what pushes us forward is a desire, right? Is an unending desire to accomplish something. I love this saying, and check this out because it's pretty crazy. Let's say that you're on top of a 100-story building, okay, and there is about 100 feet between you and the other building, okay, and the other building's 100 feet as well, and there is a bridge, a very narrow bridge, to cross one from the other. Now, my first question is, would you cross that bridge? For me, I'd be like, heck no, I'm not going to do that, right? There's no way in the world I would cross that bridge. Okay, that's silly. But what if I was to say to you that your child is on that bridge, in the middle of that bridge, and they're holding on for dear life? Because maybe they're about to fall. There is nothing on earth that could stop me from going out on that bridge and getting that person and getting my child. It's so interesting, the change in our minds when there is something that we believe in. So as always, this is the most important thing I'll leave you with. What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to believe in for 2020 or the rest of your life? And if you're struggling with that, everything else will continually be a struggle. All right. So, anyways, let's pull ourselves back out of that. If you have it, that went deep, right? As always. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, go ahead and post them. I'd love to hear your thoughts or comments. I know we've got some more people joining us, but that was really, really good. I think hopefully that got you to a point where you're understanding knowing who you are is everything. Knowing what you can do and what you cannot do is important, but also equally important, knowing what is your roadblocks. Knowing that if you go down a path, it's going to take you in 50 million ways. I love another saying, right? What's the best way to win a war is to not fight it. It's to not get into a war, right? That's the best way to win one, is to not even fight it. So, if you are going into a place where you know it's going to be a war zone for you, don't fight it. Go into another direction. Have someone else or some piece of software or something, and I'm speaking metaphorically here, but have something else take care of it for you so you don't have to go down that path. Know yourself and know your limitations. Even if your limitations are mental limitations, know them. That's how you conquer them. All right, let's take a look. We had a whole bunch of people coming and going on Instagram. We got DJ, what's up? We got the man with the voice. We got Rocky the promoter. Good to have you all. Housebroker 1, Hesham voiceovers, what's up? Let's see, on YouTube, we got Rich. What's up? Happy Monday, my man. We got Zach on Facebook, Jeremy on YouTube. Jeremy, I see you today. We've got Ike Sanusi. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. I apologize, but hello from Twitter. Periscope. We've got Hilton Productions from YouTube. What's up? We've got Nerd Caitlin. Hey, Caitlin. My videos are actually helpful. Thank you. I appreciate it. Jessica, you've been in my brain. Hey, you have been in my brain. I'm assuming you're talking about the conversation today. Thank you very much. Zach from Facebook, I can totally relate. I did about 40 cold calls and that went just fine, but then had one negative experience and stopped. I need to start again. Yeah. Oh, I have another funny thing. I was working at my first job as a teacher, and I remember this. I had a parent-teacher conference. It was my first one ever. And it was about 45 minutes of a parent yelling at me for giving their child homework. I taught theater, and they were upset because their child was doing cheerleading and didn't believe that their child should have homework in theater. So I listened to about 45 minutes. I was brand new. I was like 22, right? 22, 23. I had no idea what I was doing. And there was an administrator there, administrator in training. Anyways, point is that afterwards I was really distraught about it. And I remember going in, it wasn't the principal, but I went in to see the principal, and I said, I don't understand. I've always been okay. Like, I could always talk to people and stuff. And it seems like this person just yelled at me no matter what I said. They were angry. And I'll never forget, the principal said, he said, like, how many friends did you have in college? And I said, well, I had like, 5 or 6 really close friends. And they're like, well, how many, people do you hang around, when you were in high school? And I said, well, I had probably like, 5 or 10 people in high school as well. He said, all right, well, how many students do you teach now? I said, oh, well, probably like I had like 120. He said, well, how many? So he said, if you have 120 students, and you probably have about, 300 to 400 parents and relatives, and then there was also about 100 people, 120 people in the staff, so he's about 500 or 600 people. So he said, out of 500 or 600 people, you're bound to come across some a-holes. And that has stuck with me my whole entire life. And I love that because the reality is that, we're gonna come across people who are not happy, who are angry, and who take it out on us, who will just never like us, right? We've all had that enemy for whatever reason that was always our enemy, right? There's always going to be somebody or some people who don't like us, but there's going to be a lot of people who do, right? And I totally understand, Zach. It's so easy to get caught up on that. But, remember, I mean, you had 39 good ones, and out of one bad one, that's pretty darn amazing, okay? Again, it's pulling ourselves. Remember a couple of videos back, we talked about pulling ourselves out of the actual activity of it and looking down from the standpoint of our business being its own entity and we're guiding it. And it's the business that people are talking about, not us personally. Okay, it's hard to detach ourselves, but that is a way to look at how we handle tough situations, at least for me. All right, let's see. The Roe VA. What's happening, everyone? What's up? Boss Cyanide. Hey, man. Oh, snap. Just got done editing auditions, and now I get to catch this on time for once. What's up? Awesome, man. All right, you guys, let's see if there's anybody over here. Any questions on Instagram? Anybody else? Well, hey, listen, make sure if you get an opportunity, we have an excellent group called the Fiverr Elite Group. We've had a couple sessions so far. It's going wonderful. And if you'd like to be a part of it, the whole point of the group is to grow our businesses, work with each other. I'm a top-rated seller on Fiverr, as most of you know, and it is exciting and an honor to share everything that I've learned over the last couple of years with everybody in that group, and we have some awesome participation. We meet every week. If you're interested in that, there'll be a link below to do that. A few minutes after I do the video is over, because I have to go back and set everything up on YouTube. The other sites, unfortunately, on like Twitter and stuff, it doesn't allow me to edit after we're done with this. But otherwise, you can go to www.aviosjourney.com to join there if you'd like. But I'll try to get some, of course, on Facebook. I can post on Facebook and everything. But on Instagram, you can go to the website and go from there. But anyways, I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful new year. I will most likely, I don't know, we'll see if I'm on tomorrow. But of course, after that, I'll be back on every single day. Holidays have been amazing. Like I said, with lots of family, but I try to spend as much time as I can until they all go back to work. So let's see. Boss says the phrase uphill battle as a negative always bothered me. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Of course, it's all about how we look at it. All right. Jeremy says Fiverr group is awesome. You want to grow your business, join the group. Oh, thank you, Jeremy. Absolutely. All right, you guys. Thank you guys so much. You have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. Happy almost New Year's Eve, and I will talk to you soon. All right, goodbye. The camera. I don't know. I might have to get a new camera because this thing keeps going out. All right, bye, you guys.